Well, hey, everybody. Welcome back to We Know Texas Vino. We are so excited to be here. My name is Michael.
That's Will.
And you know what, Will? I think we need a little vivacious attitude in this podcast.
I think you're right. I mean, we're missing something.
Who's that
here.
girl over there?
I don't know. Some stranger over there.
Hey, guys.
Hey, it's Jen. Hey, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. And this is We Know Texas Vino.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, coming in here was kind of fun. Police chases, ambulances, fire trucks. We had a few sirens going off. I thought they were coming after you, Will.
It's kind of funny. So this morning when I went to the old German bakery this morning,
yes,
there was two police officers. Had one pulled over. They had two officers interrogating a person in their car.
Yes.
And then down the road a little bit, it looked like they were talking to a woman of the night.
Okay.
And it was 8 a.m. So I think she...
Okay, I want to clarify. I am not a woman of the night.
No.
You do not need to be telling me that.
Well,
okay? That's just rude.
Is that what you were directing that towards? I just thought after
just
meeting,
kidding. I was still sleeping.
After meeting Mrs. Johnson here, maybe all this police activity was a result of her behavior.
Oh.
And so I want to clarify that today.
Absolutely not. And let me just let y'all know that Fredericksburg is not a big ladies of the night destination.
Okay. It's a wine
now that you
drinking
settled
destination.
the debate down, so
Yes.
we're good.
Well, welcome back. This is We Know Texas Vino, episode 27. I cannot believe we're heading that direction already.
Wow.
And of course, this is Michael.
This is Will.
And this is Jen.
And we're all back to have some fun today. We're here at an amazing winery. It's pretty fun. You want to talk about that, Will?
So we actually got wind of your winery here from Texas Wine Club. And so we tried some of your reds there, and we were like really impressed with it. And,
Yes, we were.
And that was one of our goals is to actually come here. So Hilmy and Texas Hertiage were our two primary ones that we wanted to come
Awesome.
here.
Glad to have you.
And so thank you. And we just got through doing Hilmy. So now we're here.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say that we've been to four wineries this weekend
Right.
here, and we've never been let down at none of them so
Right.
far.
I love it.
So you got a big expectation.
We've
to
set the bar, Susan. Yeah.
I hate that.
And I'm going to give you
want to
kudos
be
as well.
first.
Yeah, put me first. When we left Texas Wine Club, they gave us some wines, and a couple of them were yours. And you know how when buddies get together and they start splitting and divvying up the wines? Guess which ones I took?
Yeah.
I took yours.
He wouldn't let me
So
have it.
yes, they were so good. They were tasty.
Barbera,
I'm like
Oak
discreetly.
Albarino.
I'm like discreetly. It's like, well, I'll take this one, Will. You know, selfishly knowing that
Actually,
I had
what
really
happened
enjoyed
was
it.
is he gave me the box, and he goes, "Oh, here, these are your wines." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I get home, and I'm like, "Where's the Texas Hertiage?" And he goes, "Oh, did you want some of those?"
Yeah. So I just enjoyed them
Might
so
have a
much.
few more.
Okay, very good. Awesome.
Yeah, so we are here with the lovely Susan.
Thank you.
And we are so excited to have you. And, tell us a little bit about you and then also what we're drinking today.
Well, so my name is Susan Johnson. As you mentioned, I'm the owner of Texas Hertiage. My husband and I started Texas Hertiage crazily about 6 or 7 years ago. And we really and truly just like to drink wine. We're not quite sure how we ended up here in this predicament, but it's been fun. It's been a great way to meet a lot of really cool people and learn a whole lot about wine. I still learn something new about wine every single day, and certainly try to produce some excellent 100% Texas wines.
Awesome.
That's very cool. It's
Well,
pretty obvious.
this
It's obvious
rosé
to
is
us that you've
pretty
done well.
amazing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really, and the rosé we're drinking right now is fantastic. So,
I'm glad you like it.
yeah. Did you say it won an award recently as well?
It did. The 2021 rosé. It's actually named after my great grandmother. Her name was Elizabeth Rose. Her nickname was Lizzie. So this is Lizzie Rosé.
I love it.
And in 2021, it got best of class at Houston Livestock Show, which I know y'all are very well versed at. That is
Yes.
the largest wine competition in Texas and the second largest competition in North America. So
Wow.
we're really pleased about that, and we love this wine.
Well,
Awesome.
she sent the tempo, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a rock and roll show here, right? We got
Yeah.
a feisty little lady here with us, and we're about to have some fun and drink some wine. But real quick, Will, let's just review our social platforms, and let's talk about all that real quick.
So, thanks to Jen and her amazing ways of showing me awesome stuff, we have now we know TexasVino.wine.
.wine.
And then, of course, .com and all the other ones that go with it as well. But .wine is our main primary one.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you can find us on Facebook at We Know Texas Vino. And then, of course, our episodes, you can find us on any major podcasting platform. Make sure you go on there and give us a 5-star rating. You want me to say one more time?
No, she was going to say
repeat.
that. Fine.
Repeat.
Repeat.
So,
Repeat.
give us a 5-star rating. And then on top of that, give us some feedback. We love feedback. We want to hear about you. If you want a winery for us to go talk to and get to know them, let us know. We want to showcase any of the little wineries that you find.
And then, just knowing how many wineries are in Texas, and especially talking to, Jeff and Amy last night, and them going and doing the effort and doing all that kind of stuff. Tell us who you're drinking right now.
Yeah.
And, we will reach out to them. We will go and do all the hard work, get to know those owners, get to know those winemakers.
Yeah.
And, we're having so much fun out here.
Yeah, Jeff and Amy, of course, with Texas Wine Lover, with the website and, of course, the app. So they've done all the hard work, haven't they, guys? And they've done all the infrastructure. So it's just a matter of us following through. And, of course, the wineries, the ownership doing the same thing. So, so you're listening to episode 27, We Know Texas Vino from Fredericksburg, Texas. Will, you set this up, thank you for doing that. So, and we're here with Mrs. Johnson. So it sounds like you have an interesting story. You come from, are you a Texas girl through and through?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You couldn't very well name your winery Texas Hertiage
That's
if you
true.
weren't like generational Texan. That would be like heresy,
Yeah. Well, I read your website. I do a lot of research coming into these, and you were voted best tasting room by the Fredericksburg Standard. How good does that feel, knowing you're providing an amazing community, an amazing venue, and an amazing culture here in this wine country, right? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's great. They hold a reader survey each year at the end of the year. And the last 3 years, actually, Texas Hertiage has won Best Tasting Room.
That's
and really, it
better.
has nothing to do with Susan Johnson. It has everything to do with the people that are in there pouring wine. We kind of set the tempo, but they are the ones who deliver the great service and the great atmosphere. And we also won Best Winery the last 2 years.
Oh,
So,
congratulations.
the locals love us. If you're looking for a local hangout, it's just easy and no stress and just hopefully peaceful.
Yeah, even the decor and walking in, and the people who are in there, your staff who is very friendly, and you are the most friendly for sure. It kind of reminded me, and Susan, just kick me if you disagree with this, but when you go to Las Vegas, there's the Strip, and then you have where the locals go, right?
Didn't we just talk about this a second ago?
But here, I felt like when I walked in here, this is where the locals go. This is where the Texans go. This is where the people, not the tourists from Dallas and the tourists from Oklahoma and New Mexico. This is where the people who appreciate good service, good people, and good wine, this is where they go. Am I off there, or is that why you're winning these awards?
No, you're really close there.
Okay.
We like to think of it as the wine cheers bar.
Everybody
knows your name, and everybody knows pretty much what you drink, and we set that up for you and have it waiting
Norm,
for you.
right?
That's right.
Who's the Fredericksburg Norm?
Hey, we have a Tim who works on the weekend.
Tim.
We call him 5-star Tim because that's what the ladies give him. So.
Hey.
He's a
Hello
good
there.
guy. Yeah.
Well, you also said you have deep Texas roots, and obviously you're a Texas girl. Your husband from Texas as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. He was born and raised in Austin, Texas. So not many people can actually
that's a
claim
rare
that.
breed right there.
That's right. And I was born down in Brazoria County, which is considered the cradle of Texas. It's where Stephen F. Austin brought in his original 300 settlers to settle Texas back in the 1830s. So, so pretty deep Texas roots.
So, and it sounds like you have great appreciation for the history of Texas. And
Absolutely.
so you've brought it all together here at this winery.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
I think the name speaks for itself,
Thank
kind
you,
sir.
Jen. Texas Hertitage. Yes.
So we do try to celebrate Texas Honor Days. My husband is he's very patriotic, and he does a Texas flag retirement ceremony about 4 times a year, and gets people who are in the audience to help him go through that. You actually cut the colors out of the Texas flag and burn it in the fireplace. And
Interesting.
It's a really moving ceremony.
Yeah.
If you really want to know the details,
I do.
so there's been a United States flag retirement ceremony for centuries, really. But there was not a Texas flag retirement ceremony until 1999, and an actual Boy Scout troop in Amarillo decided that they felt that there should be a retirement ceremony. So they actually wrote it, got it passed through the Texas legislature. Southwest Airlines flew them all down to Austin to present that flag ceremony for the first time. So
cool.
It's very moving. You can pull it up on the internet and read the words to it.
I didn't
It's a thing.
So cool.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What honor the state and the sacrifice and all the
That's
things.
exactly
you
right.
bet.
That's
Absolutely.
exactly right.
When y'all do one of those retirement flag ceremonies, do y'all post it online when y'all
We
going to
do.
it?
Yeah, we do. Usually it's on like Texas Independence Day, San Jacinto Day. We celebrate Stephen F. Austin's birthday. We do a lot of things that are to bring back and to keep alive the ancient Texas history. So
Good for you.
We love to do that.
Makes me proud to be a Texan.
Well, so you are a Texan. I'm a
full-blooded
transplant,
Texan.
but I'm very inspired by that because I'm not very patriotic, but also I just think it's really cool that people are maintaining that historical perspective. It's so cool that people are doing that, and I'm proud of you for that.
If you think about Texas history, when we were going through our revolution with Mexico, there's a lot of people from the north actually came down here to help us.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing that, and you hear Davy Crockett. Well, Davy Crockett's great, and I'm not going to bash the man, but I mean,
I'm his cousin. You need to watch your mouth. No, I'm not even kidding. I'm actually a lineage of Davy Crockett.
I love it.
I need to see some paperwork for that, man.
Let me get my book.
But I mean, there's a lot of people from the north that when we made a call that we needed help down here, there's a lot of people that came down here. Granted, there wasn't enough at the Alamo, but there still was enough down here that when they did the San Jacinto, there was enough to actually overtake the Mexican army at the time.
No, that's fantastic history. And even moving down here, I bought Erica, my wife, who's sitting over there. We bought a couple books, and I have a history degree, so I love history, anyways. But just studying that Texas, very specific Texas history, that's what you're talking about there, and you're preserving that. And so is your husband. Obviously, he's passionate.
Well, we hope so, and we try to preserve it and to honor it without being really obnoxiously boastful.
Right.
We all know those people, and they're not really a whole lot of fun. We try to, laugh at ourselves and have some humor in there as well without being obnoxious about it all. So,
well, very nice.
That's awesome.
Well, you brought in a cool culture for sure, and we're feeling very welcomed here. Tell us about, you're here at this location. Do you have additional locations? Is there plans in the future? Or are you just really happy? And tell us about the property here and where you're getting your vines.
All right. So this property is 3 acres. And obviously, it's not the Taj Mahal of tasting rooms like you do see now on the wine trail, but it is welcoming once you get inside. It's not a real eye opener on the front side of 290, but it's very welcoming once you get inside. And most of the activity here, especially since COVID, had to be back here on the back decks, and that's where people really like to hang out in really all types of weather. We have a huge fireplace that's lit when it gets below 60. People want us to put some logs on the fire. We have some fire pit tables over there. And so it's very, very easy to just sit down and have a glass of wine. So we have the tasting room here. We have our main offices. Our main corporate offices are next door. I say that very tongue-in-cheek.
I love it.
It's 2 rooms. But we do, from 7 miles from here out on, believe it or not, Grapetown Road. We did not name the road that. It was already that name. We have 92 acres, and our vineyard is out there, and our winery where we make wine is out there, and we have our wine club pickup parties, and the bigger parties happen out there.
Oh, makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah, so we have 16 acres of grapevines. I was actually out there yesterday morning. We were planting a few more little fill-ins. Anytime you order new vines and put it in, they don't always fill up the rows completely right. So we had some Grenache that we needed to plant. So we were digging 18-inch to 2-foot deep holes yesterday. Ooh. And you'd think that the earth would be softened up because it's been raining.
No.
No. With a postal digger. So all the others, the 1,600 that we just planted, were all done with a pneumatic drilling implement, but not these last ones.
There was some sweat dripping yesterday.
Heavy sweat yesterday.
The soil out here, is it you still have the clay and everything? Or do you have something a little bit different?
It's different. Even in our 16 acres that's high fenced where we have the vines, it varies from the elevation changes about 60 feet from what we call the bottom to the top. Okay. And the soil on the bottom is very clay. It's very rich soil, and it gets more limestoney, more just less dense soil as it goes up the hill. So we love it out there. We think that those limestone deposits add an interesting quality to the grapes as they grow. we think it makes great 100% Texas wine. So
that's gorgeous.
Awesome.
yeah, it's fun.
What kind of varietals do you have growing right now?
Ooh, we got some great ones.
Ooh, I'm ready. Let's
And
go.
I wish I could show you. We just yesterday I spotted Tempranillo that was going into veraison. So veraison is where you go from totally little green looking pea
Getting some
things
color
to
in there.
getting some color in there. So Tempranillo is the first one usually to do that in the season. So we also grow Alicante Boucher, which is sort of a rare grape. We love that grape. It has a red pulp as well as the red skins, so it makes an intensely dark red wine. The person who developed that grape was actually from France. It was 1865, and he developed that grape in Bordeaux to add to other blends to make them darker. But we do a single variety Alicante, which is absolutely delicious. We also do the Malbec. You're having the Rosé Malbec now. We do a traditional Malbec as well. We have Tempranillo. We have Tannat, which is up and comer in Texas. As you know, you talk to Texas winemakers all the time. People love Tannat, the most tannic of all the grapes that we work with, and definitely the healthiest for you because it has the most resveratrol. We want to think about our health when we're drinking wine.
I don't think about my health.
That was a big word.
Resveratrol?
Everyone say it at the same time.
Resveratrol.
No, I'm good.
Yeah. It's good to know those things
Yes, it
because,
is.
I mean, you might be unhealthy and you should drink Tannat. So we also grow Susau, which is Portuguese varietal. In Portugal, they use it a lot in port. We think it's a great standalone wine. We have Viognier, which is unfortunately our only white grape. That's out there in our vineyard, but we are able to source white grapes from other growers here in the Hill Country. Okay. And we just planted Grenache and Petit Verdot.
Oh,
so,
gorgeous.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Well, yeah. And so one of my questions was, I hear 100% Texas grapes, and I wrote the word pride next to that. So, back to what we talked about earlier. I mean, that's pretty cool to be able to just 100% Texan.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So right now, what is our amazing new roadie here, Randall? What's he pouring for us
Randall,
right now?
He's pouring Viognier into your glass. I have to tell you a funny story. I went to a wedding reception a week ago, and it was here, in the Hill Country, like 3 miles from here, in an event venue. And I walked up. I'd been working. It was Saturday. I walked up there, and I said to the lady behind the bar, I said, "What white wines do you have tonight for the wedding reception?" And she said, "Well, I have a Sauvignon Blanc, and I have a Vinois." And I said, Vinois.
Now, that's a new
We just talked about that last night.
Yonder is the biggest one I've ever heard.
And she said,
That's a
I
new
don't know
one.
what it is, but I think you should drink that one because it tastes better than the other one. And I'm like, okay, I'll have some Vinois.
I love it.
And it was Viognier.
Did you not correct her?
No, I didn't know what it was. I couldn't see the bottle.
Yeah, no, if you don't know what it is and you're just
It
like
wasn't
throwing
our
out some
wine.
letters like
Yeah.
it might be a combination
Yeah.
of something
Maybe.
that you don't know. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden you're like, no, oh honey.
So there were
it's
some
okay.
other grape growers there at the reception. And I went outside and they're like, "Hey, what are you drinking?" I said, "I don't know. It's Vinois." Anyway, it was good.
Well, that's cool that you didn't need to correct her, even though you probably had a gut instinct that it was Viognier. But it's all
That
cool.
is amazing flavor, though.
Yeah. It's
good, isn't
Really
it?
What are you
amazing
tasting?
flavor.
Well, what do you got?
We love it.
Very
Again,
crisp.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's very crisp.
That's a beautiful thing. So, what are some of the causes you have? Do you take care of this community? Obviously, you're in grain. I mean, you're part of the fabric of this community here, and this is wine country. What are some of the things you're doing personally, as well as your company here, your business model, to take care of this community, and maybe beyond that?
So we do several different fundraisers for our different entities here. Just last week on Thursday night, we do a bingo and vino for a cause once a quarter.
That's so
Yeah,
cute.
we have
That is
bingos.
amazing.
Yeah.
So
we
wait a
have
minute. If I
bingo.
call bingo, do I get a free bottle of wine?
If you call bingo, you could probably own this place because we're always looking for great bingo callers. Kidding.
Bingo.
But we
She's
give
like,
you a
"No,
bottle
know
of
your
wine.
place."
For sure we
She saw that look, Will. You thought
She's like, wait,
When
what?
you said that, I was gonna be like,
Yeah.
I'm making a trip down here. I'm calling bingo. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fill my card up and I'm calling bingo.
All right, so back
Like,
to the
that means you
question,
need to put some
people.
money down in this place, is what you're saying.
So obviously we have wine with everything, but we were raising money this past Thursday evening with the help of one of the local Rotary clubs. They prepare food that's for sale, and they do some gift baskets baskets. They sell raffle items. All of the proceeds from the sale of the bingo cards go to the charity. This time it was the Fredericksburg High School Junior ROTC.
Beautiful.
So they need extra funds. They need more uniforms.
Yeah.
And so we raised $2,500
Wow.
last Thursday night.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
For those people.
Those
We have
kiddos.
also benefited the local SPCA. We love our dogs and cats around here. We're
There you go.
very pet friendly here. We also have a little doggy bar up there where we have doggy treats, and you can fill your own.
So does the
doggy
dogs,
bucket.
they go up to the bar and they say belly up to the bar?
Well,
Or-
most of them know where the treats are. They just look at you and bark at you until you go get them their treat. But so we've done SPCA, Junior ROTC. Twice we've done a cause called Meals for Vets. We have some veterans here who are unable to get out and get around, and so they take meals to their homes.
Oh, that's great.
So that's a very good cause as well. Really, mostly very local, very needy, very
Yeah.
worthy charity. So,
Yeah, well, all those, I think the Meals for Vets is such an awesome one right now in our country. I just think that we've kind of like for the last 20 years kind of forgotten about those soldiers who have paid the price, not the ultimate price necessarily, but they pray. And
Right.
back to the original
Right.
conversation,
Yes.
we have
Yeah.
pride in this state. This state is all about taking care of the veterans. So it's cool when people like you and your company do support that. It's pretty wicked awesome.
Yeah, I think Texas is probably the most patriotic state in the union right now.
yes, we think so.
Oh, we are honestly, and I've lived in a few other states, and this is easily, and I always move back to Texas. Easily, the one state that you have the joy of saying, "I'm from Texas."
Absolutely.
And it's not like I said, it's a joy. It's not necessarily like I'm from Texas,
Right.
Because I mean,
Yes.
I can't tell you how many times you have people coming in from other states and they go, "Oh, I'm from Louisiana. I'm so sorry we're here."
From
And you're
Missouri.
like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Sorry,
Alaska."
Missouri.
I'm just kidding.
Nebraska.
Yeah. Well, one of the cool things you do here, and I wrote this down in my notes because I think it's just fantastic, is you really celebrate with your wine club members. And you're doing, in
Yes.
fact, I believe this next Saturday, and you can
Yes.
correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like not only do you take care of them and they're loyal and they're wonderful and they love your wines, but it sounds like you do some traveling with them. Let's talk about this because that may be the incentive for listeners to come join this wine club to go
Yes.
travel with Susan Johnson.
Hey, we do. We have a great time. We like for people to feel like they're included. It's a great way to get to know fellow wine club members. So this Sunday, actually, we will join together in Seattle with 50 of our wine club members, and we will get on a big ship and go to Alaska for
Wow.
a week. And so some of the things we do during that week to kind of bring people together, we have a winemaker talk. Our winemaker, Tyler Budemeyer, who is a young, great, you're tasting the wine now, up-and-coming winemaker. He's been with us since the beginning. And he'll go and we'll pour some Texas Hertiage wines on the high seas.
Okay, well, what are my questions?
And we'll have
That is
a little
awesome.
trivia contest, like how many calories in a glass of wine. Would you say 50, 100, or 150?
0 to justify drinking a second glass.
Depends on what kind of glass you're
No,
taking.
a glass is probably 100.
150.
150. Yeah.
150. Average.
Oh, you got it. Okay. Our roadies off to the side got it right.
So anyway, we do have fun. We'll have a little winemaker talk on the first day at sea and kind of get everybody a little loosened up with, like I said, some Texas Hertiage wine. And then every evening at 5:30, we'll meet in the Schooner Bar to share cocktails and tell tall tales.
You bet.
And,
Who fell off the boat that day and all that kind of stuff. Yes.
You know what would be cool is we know Texas Vino went on one of these cruises and broadcasted from that.
Can we do it
that's
after
cool.
my
That
test?
Would be cool.
Why do you think I'm bringing this up, man? I am planting seeds, my friend. I'm planting seeds.
He's like over there shoveling
Yeah.
the hoe, and he's like, "Hey, I have
Susan,
an idea."
you don't know, but Susan and I have been holding hands for the last 20 minutes. I mean, it's all about
Okay,
building
stop
this
playing footsie
relationship.
with people. What's going on over
we're
here?
good. And to honor her husband, it was because I'm a businessman. I want to build this relationship. But yeah, well, that's cool. So what are some? You said Costa Rica. You're doing some
Yeah,
canoeing down
so,
in the Big Bend.
Yeah, we have a few other trips planned right now. On the agenda is Costa Rica on February 6th. We'll go down for a week to the Pacific side, Playa Flamingo and Potrero Beach.
Oh, yes.
And we'll hang out there on the beach for a week with, I think we'll probably have about 60 or 70 people that
Wow.
go with us on that. And people stay, and, we're staying actually at Margaritaville, which is right across from the beach. People get individual B&Bs, and it's really actually very economical to go there. People are super friendly.
Sure.
And we take 8 different musicians from Texas with us.
Nice.
And they play 3 different venues while we're there.
Oh my goodness.
And, yeah, this year in January we went to Belize instead of Costa Rica, and we took 8 musicians with us there, and they played at a palapa that was out over the water, and it was awesome.
That's heaven in my book. Yes.
So
I know.
And who orchestrates? Is that you orchestrating that, or do you have like a operations manager who helps with that?
Yeah,
Who's your minion?
every a lot of times I'm the minion.
You're the minion.
I'm my own minion.
I do that well. I adapt to that role, obviously, very well. But we do have a guy who plans definitely the Costa Rica. He loves Costa Rica. He goes down there for a month in October and works through all the venues where they're going to sing and does all those things.
Okay.
We are doing the other trip I was going to talk about was in October. We do a 3-day canoe trip through Boquillas Canyon in Big Bend. That's a true Texas bucket list.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
To see Boquillas Canyon from the water.
That is
and to
amazing.
Sleep, under the stars for 3 nights. And we take a musician with us on that who plays around the campfire at night. And, the outfitters cook all the meals. And they provide the tents and the canoes, obviously. So, the wine club members can just go. That's a much smaller trip. There are only 20 people that
Is
can
the
go
wine, because you use your own wine, do they drop ship the wine to the locations you're spending the night at, or how does that work?
Everything is different.
Okay.
It depends on the location.
Okay.
Like for Big Bend, we'll actually take it down there with us when we go down.
Yeah.
Give it to the outfitter, and they'll put it in ice chest to keep it, worthy for the trip.
Yes.
But Belize, we took wine suitcases with us. Obviously,
wow.
we tasted some of the local wine. They do a lot of South American wines down there. So they do a lot of Carmenieres and a lot of things like that. So it's fun to kind of not get cellar palate and always drink your own wine. You got to drink some other wine.
Absolutely.
To stay up what's going on. So anyway, every place is different.
Yeah.
That is okay. So, for our listeners who
Yes.
are hearing you do this, so what do they have to do? Is it like a special, like you send out an invite to all the members? You have to be a member first off.
Yes.
So do you send out an email and say, okay, this is a limited amount of
Yes.
people we do this with, and all like that?
Or 70.
You were spot on. You're
It's
smart.
like you read
guy.
somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like you've participated in one of these things before or something.
So yeah, that's what you have to
I've
do. You
never
have to
done
be
this
a member
before.
of our wine
No, it's
club.
fun.
That's
And,
awesome. I mean, I would love for us if we could do it one day.
Yeah.
I mean, not anytime soon, but one day to actually do that, come on to maybe a cruise. I mean, I think that would be probably best because we have electricity there.
Well,
Yeah,
I think all
you
of
have
them would
electricity
be
in
great.
Costa Rica,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Well, canoeing. I think it's a
One
canoeing.
spot. That's it. That's the only place.
You ever heard of a generator?
They have that down
You
there.
got somebody sitting there
Their
cranking
cell
around.
phone works. Yeah.
Too funny. Oh, we got
But I mean,
laughter happening here.
I think it would be kind of cool.
Tell me you have a Texas education.
It's all good. It's all good.
Well, let's shift gears real quick because that does sound amazing, and we will participate in that in the future. That sounds
love
great.
to have
yeah,
you.
that'd be a lot
I
of
think it
fun.
would be fun. I think it would
Yeah,
definitely be
it's a
fun.
blast.
Let's talk about your winemaker real quick because I wrote down a note here. Tyler Budemeyer, is that
Yes,
correct?
that's
So I did a little research. It sounds like he is up and coming, a real successful. You want to give kudos to him and a shout out to that young man real quick? Go ahead.
We love Tyler. He actually does so many things for my husband and I. He's just a cool guy. He goes with us on these trips.
Okay.
We include him, so that's part of the perk of
Yes.
being a Texas Heritage
That's a beautiful thing.
winemaker is to be able to do these things. He's fairly young.
Yep.
He learned winemaking. He worked for Ben Calais.
Oh, wow.
He's
That's
worked
huge.
for Ben for
That's
a while.
huge.
And then he apprenticed at a couple of other places before finding his way to us.
Okay.
He heard that we liked Texas music, and he heard we were looking for somebody to be a cellar rat, and we hired him immediately. And he's evolved into our winemaker.
Wow.
So he's a great guy. We love him. He's Texas native and has made some obviously great wines. We've won a total of 6 double golds through
that's
San
amazing.
Francisco Chronicle or Houston or whatever. We've won some best of class.
Wow.
Best of class on that Barbera at San Francisco. So that was a big thing. And we had no idea really. We'd never won a best of class at San Francisco before. And so Maureen Qualia, who's the wine educator here at Texas Tech, is like, we all are going, right? You're going going to San Francisco. And we're like, no, we're not going to we can go to San Francisco to go pick up an award. And she goes, my God, they drop balloons and confetti, and it's a really, really big deal.
Wow.
Okay, if we ever get another one, we're going. So
that's
so
pretty fun, though.
I know.
That could be part of that celebration. Would be amazing.
That is freaking awesome.
You earned it.
Drink lots of wine too. So
if
right.
y'all also didn't know that, in Texas, you don't get technical medals. You either get belt buckles,
yes,
and you get saddles for all of your best of stuff. And so, like, it is a thing, and this is stuff that they hand make.
Yes.
It's not from a machine.
Yeah,
it is good stuff.
Yeah,
and so like seeing those types of things, that's a big deal. And
these belt buckles, I've seen them firsthand be made. They're not just something you come out of a Cracker Jack box or something like that.
We just got our belt buckles. We got 5 belt buckles. We just got this year. We just got them within the last 3 weeks. I think we presented them to Tyler at the 300 Club or the wine club pickup party. We presented. He didn't know they had come in, and they're different every year. Like you said, the design is completely different. They're beautiful.
I mean, absolutely,
we don't wear them. We just set them up.
Oh yeah, they're for Chinese. Yeah, you don't ride the saddles. You don't wear the belt buckles.
No,
you put them for display.
Yeah.
No touchy.
Right.
Have been grown up in West Texas, and have participated in livestock shows and all of that. And you get the belt buckles, you don't wear those things. You put those things up and you shine them up and put them in a glass case and you say, don't touch those things.
Badge of honor, baby.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But it's funny how people who are not from Texas don't understand that.
Right.
Well, that's a bigger deal. Yeah, okay, you can give us a gold medal. Okay, that's great. But I want a belt buckle instead.
Yeah, that bad boy is such a big deal. And then what's really cool is both of those, Houston and San Antonio, both of those are big on scholarship programs and funding, future viticulturists.
That's really cool.
And making sure that, Texas is bringing in more of that information and all that fun.
Yeah, we love going to Houston does an event called Best Bites.
After it's massive and
actually
gorgeous.
I guess it's before the rodeo starts. And so we participate in that, go up there and pour wines, and it's just a blast. I mean, it's like 5,000 people in this one room, and there's all this great food and great wine. And so we met all kinds of crazy people, and it was a blast, so we love to participate in that stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, the culture we talked about like 8 times already, but you created a good vibe here. But are you just really satisfied just winning everything? It sounds like you created a winning attitude here. You're super confident and fun and intelligent.
We can do better.
But you are winning. And have I ever said that to any of these? No, you are a winner. And so I know winners when I see them. I come from sports marketing. I get it. But it's kind of fun winning. It's kind of fun having a good time, right?
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. It's better having a good time than a bad time.
Well, because if you weren't winning, it might be a little more challenging, but it's kind of fun. So what are some of your goals in the future? I mean, you're really kicking butt right now and doing some fun things. I mean, tell us what your vision is.
I have to say that it truly, my husband and I, we're not, it's not like we're in our 40s and starting this kind of thing.
Right.
We kind of
41.
Well,
41.
Yeah, right.
No, you're not 41, you're 21.
Right. Going backwards. Right? So 68 is the new 38.
Exactly.
Okay, that's right.
No way. You
that's
are
right.
not.
No, that's true.
You're 38, really? I didn't know that.
Yes.
And
gorgeous.
Yes,
darling.
and holding on for a long, long time. Our goals really are to just make people have a good time.
Yes.
Yeah.
We want people to be able to relax and to kind of feel the love and feel the vibe of just being at home,
Yes, amen.
We want to produce great wine, and we want to win. I mean, we're in it to win it. Go big or go home. All that stuff, we're all in that. But really, it's much more about being able to feel the happiness and the love of the people who congregate here. Really.
Yeah.
We love that. We get told that all the time. Oh, y'all are so sweet. It's like, we just really wanted to drink wine, and this happened.
And build friendships, right? Because you're great at that.
Friendships, yes.
That's so awesome.
So it's been a labor of love.
Yeah. Well, it's fun. Any avenue of life, you kind of want to do the winning part of it. And I just think once you kind of get in that mode, I'm always going to challenge people to stretch themselves even more. So, if I had met your winemaker or meet you, I think it's really cool to hear what's going to happen in the next 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah.
It sounds like you have a good trajectory, right? Things are happy. You have momentum right now.
Well, and a big part of being successful is just perseverance. Show up and be ready to play hard and work hard. Mm-hmm. Nothing that is great is ever not hard work.
That's for sure.
Exactly.
Hard work.
Yep.
And so, getting the right grapes, making sure that we're not overpowering. That's one of Tyler's big things, and mine too, is Texas produces some really, really good fruit, but we don't want to overpower it with too much oak or we want it to be able to express itself in the bottle of what it really is. And so that's been kind of one of our mainstream things about winemaking is to as little interference as possible to make the best wine possible.
That sounds
That's
perfect.
awesome.
Good philosophy. Great philosophy.
I love that. And, one of the things we have talked about on multiple episodes is that something you don't see at a winery that you see at bars and all like that is the disagreements and the fights.
No, we don't.
You don't see that at a winery. You do not see that. But what you do see is family and friends.
Yes.
And that's one of the reasons I love wine so much. Excuse me. Is that you get that camaraderie. What?
You were crying. It's okay.
Crying.
He's getting emotional again.
I'm sorry.
Do you need more
I
testosterone?
thought that was just sweat.
I'm actually here to bring the testosterone. Y'all didn't know that, really.
I have my own level too.
There you go.
You're in good company.
Michael, I think we're in trouble.
One thing we've learned about Will is you're really attached to this wine community. I mean, you're in.
I just started drinking wines 4 years ago. I started it. Yeah, seriously. I just started drinking 4 years ago. And in that 4 years, I met Michael. I met Jen. I started doing this podcast.
Wow.
We started doing this podcast, not me.
Crazy.
We started this just this year. And I've actually enrolled to become a winemaker myself. And I planted them on my vines already. Like
wow,
I'm literally
you're into it.
I'm so into this lifestyle. Let's just call it what it is. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because I mean, where else in a life can you find such great friends and cooperation and competition but it's all still friendly and everybody's so much like a family with each other.
Right.
In fact, last night when we were sitting around drinking wine last night,
The Godfather.
No, this is after The Godfather.
This is
after The Godfather. We'll
Jeff
talk
is the
about
Godfather.
that in just a second, okay?
Godfather.
But we were sitting out there at our little college last night with Randall and Erica and Jen and Michael and stuff. And I told them how much I appreciate them doing this with me because without them, I couldn't succeed as well. They couldn't succeed with this without me. We all have our little parts in this,
right.
Because Jen is such an amazing person doing the education here. Michael's great at bringing it all together. I'm great at doing the technology part. Erica's great over there for taking pictures. Randall's over there being a great roadie.
And a great husband too.
So, but you can't get a winery without having that same people. You got to have the winemaker. You got to have the people that want to support.
Everybody's got to be all in.
Everybody has to be in, and that's what I love about this, and that's why I want to do this because you can't find that anywhere else.
That was an excellent dissertation, and really well. I was hoping for is I agree, Michael. But thank you for that. But
it was amazing.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's passion in that, but it actually brings up a great question. Did you go through that metamorphosis? Did you go through something like you and your husband? You were like, man, let's get in this wine industry. Let's jump into this. Something like what Will's going through now.
You just didn't drink the wine and say, oh, let's do make wine.
Yeah, you didn't snap your fingers and say, let's have a vineyard.
Some people are crazy. Some people are psycho.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
We actually, I had a corporate life for 31 years.
Okay, there you go.
And retired about 2013. And my husband felt like I was too young to do nothing. And he was right. I could have done nothing.
Costa
He's like, what are you
Rica,
gonna do now?
Belize.
What are you going to do now?
Rude.
And so I was like, I don't know. I'm just going to plant a garden. And he goes, well, why don't you take that viticulture? We love wine. We like to go drink wine. Go take viticulture at Texas Tech here. So I did. And, you get in that whole cohort of people that are all into winemaking, or they work at wineries, or they grow grapes. And so we thought, how hard could it be? We'll just grow some grapes. And, so naive. So naive. So we ordered 800 Tempranillo grapevines and put them in the ground. And
Holy cow!
I know, and we did
800.
Well, that's 1 acre.
Yeah, I got you.
I just did 12.
12 acres?
No, he did not do 12. 12 vines.
That's how she's the winner. 12 acres, Will?
Right.
No, 12 vines.
So we had, we did it. We worked it ourselves, and he still has a full-time job that kind of helps pay for some of this. Anyway, so we had almost talked ourselves out of it, and we made a really critical mistake. We went to Napa Valley, and we visited some of what we thought we would be seeing some best practices.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course, there hundreds of millions of dollars in best practices out there. And so we drank a lot of wine, a lot of great wine, and we called the nursery, which is in Santa Rosa, right there by close to where you are, and ordered some more vines while we were there. So we're in it. So came home, bought 92 acres, and
there you go.
Yeah, we were just going to grow grapes, and then we decided, what the heck, we're doing pretty good. Let's just make some wine.
Wow.
So, it's morphed like
Of
things
course.
do, right?
And now you're having the time of your life. Yeah, you're having a great time. It's what a great way to wrap up life. I mean, really, just serving on people, loving on people, equipping people.
It's definitely not boring.
Yeah, it's definitely not boring. I mean,
boring.
it's talking to everybody in this lifestyle. Let's just call it as it is, a lifestyle. We hear everybody that's like, I did a corporate 9-to-5 job or 8-to-5 job, and I got tired of it, and I wanted to do something else that's more rewarding. Yeah. And it has been, because your reward is not making money. I mean, great. We're all more to make money, but the reward you get is when you pour that glass of wine and you see the smiles on the people's face.
When it
that's
touches
what it is.
people,
yes,
in a good way.
And that's what we do this for, is because we want to get your information out to everybody else, and we want them to see the same smiles that we see when we're here.
Right.
Yeah, it's so much fun. And then drinking wine's not a bad deal either. We just
that's just a perk.
Right, that's a pretty good perk.
We're like Bluebell.
I mean, like I said, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to do it.
So
did you hold on?
Yep.
Did you just compare your wine to Bluebell?
Well, I said we drink all we can and sell the rest, right?
I love it.
Right.
We have a little inside joke
They're
on
all
that.
pointing at each other. I don't really know what that means.
So there's a little inside joke, because last night we were with Amy and Jeff,
right?
And I kept saying there's one more thing.
17 things later.
But here's the thing, Susan, you don't know. I am type A. I have notes out of the blue, right? I have questions and thoughts and organization and type A. And I sent these notes to him. $100 says he does not have those notes in front of him right now. So even though I would attach that, okay. Anyway, so it's pretty cute. But that's the beauty of being spontaneous and fun. And Will's an amazing man.
I like to ask
good.
questions on that question. So he'll ask a question, you'll answer, and then from what you're saying, I like to ask questions off of that.
Yeah, the situation is the boss, right?
Yes, and that's what I love to do.
But that's not why we're laughing. I'm ready to get like into the meat and potatoes and finalization and bring this all into this beautiful capsules of success.
This is the beauty of our podcast.
And you dethrone that with
this is why.
Did you make the glasses? It's like, come on, give me a break.
This is the beauty of our podcast, because we love to laugh.
Sure,
we love to laugh.
100%. Well, where can people reach out to you? I mean, you're here physically. Can you give us descriptions for our listeners who are going to travel to Fredericksburg to come see you because of this podcast and many other reasons? Social platforms, how can we reach you?
We're there.
We're there. I love it. I love it.
We're on social. Done.
Mic drop. We're done.
So that's just y'all are crazy. We'll start with the basic info. Our tasting room is open 7 days a week.
That's gorgeous.
We're open from noon to 5 daily, except Saturday when the tour buses run, and we're open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Wow.
Okay.
We do have special events where we stay open later. You can find those on our website, www.texasheritagevineyard.com. Vineyard does not have an S on it, in case you misheard
There's
me.
only one.
Yes, there's only one. So we also were located at 3245 East US Highway 290, just right outside of Fredericksburg. So 3 miles from the center of town. That's where you can come buy our wine. All right.
Right. And
Facebook, Instagram, all
everything.
of that. We're on it.
Okay, so we'll find you.
Yeah.
So,
we have some YouTube videos out too.
Oh, that's cool.
Hey.
That's a first.
There is one thing that was brought to my attention that we need to talk about, is the ice bucket that you had the wine in. Let's talk about that for just a quick moment. I know that we've...
So if you could see this really cool ice bucket, you would know that
We'll
it's
take
made
a
out of...
picture and put it on our website.
Yes.
Made out of acrylic, and it sort of leans so that the ice can stay around the bottle that's in it to chill. And it came from a guy who has a company out of Houston named Coolin Curve, Coolin Curve. And he did these as a way to raise funds to contribute to childhood cancer. His granddaughter was born with cancer, and he developed this. He had the idea, he had the design, and he said, you know what? I'm going to do these, and all the funds that come from this, the net that comes from this, is going to go to fight childhood cancer. You can find him online. He's a cool guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And they are very cool.
Do you have the information where our listeners, if they are listening to this, can find out where it's at? Do you have the information in front of you? If not, we can put it on our Facebook.
www.coolincurve.com.
There you
Pretty
go.
simple.
Pretty
simple.
That's pretty awesome.
Well, we're grateful. So any last words? You get to have the floor here. Is there anything else you'd like to share about your passion, your vineyard, about your business model, or about your family?
I appreciate the opportunity to talk to y'all. I'm completely blown away that y'all are so engaged and engaging. I've talked to a lot of people, and y'all are fun.
Well, we didn't want to show
Sorry,
up
I'm
with a
not
bow tie.
drinking with you.
Can you imagine we did this? There's a bow tie and my hair is combed properly. And I'm like, Susan, what is your business model? Right? It's like, it's
I thought about coming with a 10-gallon hat.
There you go.
I remember
Texas,
overalls
right?
today, so it's all good. Let's do this.
Well, let's wrap up section 1 of this podcast, and then we're going to come back with some education. Jen is our educational expert, and we're going to have some fun with that, and we're hoping Susan will be able to engage in that as well. My guess is she'll be amazing. So, Will, anything else before we move on?
No, I think this is amazing.
All right, well, we're done here. We'll see you guys here in a moment. Thank you.
Hey, this is Jeff Cole from TexasWineLover.com. We're here with Will, Michael, and Jen from We Know Texas Vino.
And this is Amy Nemec with the Texas Wine Lover mobile app. We're wrapping up the interview and moving into the wine education portion of the episode, so stick with us.
Will, we're back, buddy. Welcome back to We Know Texas Vino educational portion. We're super pumped up to be here, and we're super excited to have Jen back as well. Jen's so cool, and we learned so much from her. She's over there blushing. I don't know what's going on with her. I think it's the wine.
She's hot.
And so
I'm a redhead. I'm always blushing.
Let's pass that baton on to Jen while she does some teaching today.
Yes, teach us, Jen.
All right.
You know, one of the things that we actually talked about during this podcast is actual soil. And some people don't understand the concept that soil is such a big priority, and including water. Water source is going to be a gigantic thing whenever you're actually growing grapes or deciding you want to grow grapes, or want to be a little psycho and let's start a vineyard. You have to have a little crazy in you.
Can you do that again? How
that
that
voice.
go?
No, I don't remember how to do it. Anyways, but soil. The biggest thing when I came in, especially into this industry, is understanding that you don't need to have this high, extreme nutrient soil. The harder the actual root has to get to the base, is the better the soil. So you have your clay, you have your stone, you have your sand. You also have the humus, which is going to be your old fossils and all that kind of stuff. And if y'all didn't know this, in Bordeaux was a swampland before the Dutch came in and dug it out.
What?
And made it to what it is today. And all of that was humus, and that was that old fossilized stuff. Yeah, I'm truth
She's
bomb.
done her research over there.
So
Bomb right
That's serious.
now.
That's serious
there's
stuff.
Two things here. So the Dutch dug out an area that was swamp,
Yep.
and they made hummus.
No. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So this is Will's last podcast, unfortunately.
Sometimes
he
they have
was
wine.
murdered by a redhead, but we won't say who. Anyways, but one of the things that a lot of people assume that you have to have high nutrient soils. You don't need that. The grapes need a specific type of nutrient to create this amazing grape. And Texas is now starting to get into that. And they're understanding their terroir, that's that French term of soil,
Right.
As dirt or whatever you want to. In West Texas, you got a lot of red sand, you got red dirt, and you got the limestone. Now, one thing I want to talk about today with Miss Suzanne is that, she brought up that it was on a little bit of a slope,
incline,
right?
yes. Mm-hmm.
And that slope is so good for grapes.
Yep.
And so, talk about what you're seeing with that limestone into the clay and noticing the difference of those grapes.
Let me preface this educational discussion with, prior to doing this, I knew nothing about growing grapes. But I have learned, and I'm a student. I'm a constant, when you're green, you're growing. When you're ripe, you're rotten.
There.
So I'm
Hey, actually, I love that term. That's
I love that.
fantastic.
So I'm going to try to stay green. But no, we did not know. We did know that prior to purchasing the piece of property where we planted grapes that we should have the soil checked. So we did that. We sent some down to a lab, and they analyzed it and said, yeah, this should be okay. And little did we know that as the soil progresses up about a 60-foot incline from the bottom of the vineyard to the top, the soil changes. It actually really changes. It's a much deeper clay at the bottom locale than it is at the top. It's much more caliche. It's much more limestoney. Just doesn't hold water the same way that the soil at the bottom would hold water.
Right.
And so, yes, all those minerals that are in the soil naturally in Texas, especially in the Texas Hill Country, a lot of limestone deposits, a lot of stuff like that. You hear about limestone and filtering good bourbons. Well, limestone is also great for great grapes.
Yeah.
Not to be anything said badly about the sandy loam soils in West Texas. Those produce some great grapes, and they also offer a lot of easier things for grape growing than what we face here in the hill country with a little bit more of the humidity.
Right.
But all that being said, we do analysis on the vines twice a year, every year, to see if they're deficient in certain nutrients, magnesium, nitrogen, phosphorus, all those things that you need to make really good grapes. And we add those into our drip system in the vineyard to make sure that, like for instance, the Malbec needed a specific nutrient. So there's an injector that goes into the drip that does that just for that block.
Wow.
Right? Just for that block. So so we look at that twice a year. It's a lot of technical stuff.
Yeah.
So
I almost cussed, but it's a lot of technical.
you want to be the
Things
first
and
person?
stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
So, all right. So, for our listeners to understand, when you say drip, you're talking about your irrigation system,
Yes.
correct? Okay.
Yes,
I just want to
irrigation
make sure our listeners understood that.
And let me say too, water is such an important commodity here in the hill country, and it is more and more scarce as we have more years with less rainfall. So we have moisture sensors installed at 18 inches, 2 feet down in various locations in our vineyard.
Oh, wow.
So we can tell exactly if we're really dry and we need to run the water or we
Right.
don't need to run the water. So we try to be judicious with the water system.
The wind's blowing
Sorry,
stuff
the wind's
around.
blowing, it's blowing all your wine glass
our
covers.
wine coasters off of the top of the glasses.
There's one that flew way out there. So
It's
all
okay.
good. That's all good. We'll fetch 'em.
We have a lot of those, so we're good. So yeah, we try to be protective of the water. There's another big thing too that we learned in thinking about putting in a vineyard is that you must also check your water source
Yes.
to see what the salinity of the water is, because if it's too much salt in the water, then you really you can't use it. So.
Right.
Makes
that's
sense.
interesting you said that, because James actually has two what are they called, water sources, and he said one of them was too salty and one was not, and
Yeah.
he had to use the other one to
Yeah.
actually water, which is amazing because out in East Texas where my folks live, they're wanting to plant a vineyard now, and so they've got 2 water reserves that they want to tap into also. So we got to get those tested as
Right.
well.
For
Tell
sure.
your parents to come on down here. We'll apprentice them for a few weeks out there and let them make a really good decision.
Knowing
about that.
his
Here's your
parents, they would love it.
choices.
Yeah.
They would love it. They're going to listen
what
to this
is
podcast, so I'm
the-
sure they'll be in.
The
Yeah.
fond joke of, to be a millionaire in the wine industry, you have to be a billionaire to
Yes,
begin.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Some
I mean,
truth
like
to
this is some effort. This is some time. This is not for the weak-hearted.
No, it is
if
not.
you are just like, I've decided this, but no, you need to be full heart, soul, mind, body into.
Well, how many
wine
people have we
grapes.
met, Jen, in our lives who put one foot in and 8 seconds later they quit or move on. They just never put their heart and soul into it. And what we've learned in this industry is that people like Susan and her husband and people in this community, man, they're all in. I mean, how many people we met just this weekend who are all in?
I mean, we've done 26 episodes, and all 26 of those out of I don't think any of them actually at all.
Zero.
That they said that it's either all or nothing. There's none of this. I'm gonna say it like this: half-assed.
No,
it's all or nothing.
Well, here's one. Here you go. Well, you guys will like this. Okay, I just pulled this out of the archives. Is winemaking and owning a company like you have a good hobby?
No.
It's a sucky, right? It sucks as a hobby. Because that'll drive you
wine
crazy.
is a great hobby.
Drinking wine is a good hobby.
Enjoying wine, great hobby.
But
joining wine clubs, great hobby.
Yes,
Great
right.
hobby.
Yeah.
Yes. We would love to have you in our wine club. But
well, we will do that.
growing grapes and making wine and selling, marketing bottles of wine is not a hobby.
It is.
It is a full-time job.
It's a lifetime of hard work.
But
So
one of the things, if not a hobby and everything, but the people that do have this passion and this love, they have more of a passion and love than I've ever been in any other industry.
I agree.
Ever.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Than anyone else.
Because I mean, they have the heart because they see several things that happens. They say, okay, I'm going to grow this grape, and then I'm going to make this wine, and then I'm going to see people smile.
Yeah.
And that's what they love about it. And something, and correct me if I'm wrong, but every winemaker that we have talked to is a people person, and they love talking to people, and they love enjoying seeing them smile.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, but you want the reward, you got to pay the price. That is a hands down valuable lesson. It's an unwritten universal law. You want that reward, you got to pay the price, right, Susan Johnson?
That's exactly right. And we're really very lucky here. People come to Fredericksburg and go, "Oh my God, why are there so many wineries? Why? What's the deal here?"
Right.
But it's a blessing that there are, because like Saturday when our tractor broke and we were spraying, which happens a lot. I mean, you just don't know.
So,
Something happens all the time. We had somebody we could call and they would loan us a tractor or a sprayer.
Beautiful.
Or, I had a lady yesterday. We had Texas music live on the patio yesterday, and the lady calls in the middle of it and goes, "I need a surfactant," which is something you add to your spray to make it stick to the vines.
Oh.
And she said, "I'm out. It's Sunday. I can't get any anywhere." So, we brought her some.
So cooperation.
So what you do is you take your members and it's like, hey, for a bottle of wine, we need somebody to come out here and make a spray.
Well,
usually it's other vineyard owners. Right.
Cool.
We love our members to all of our wine clubs. So,
of course. Yeah. Well, we're grateful. We're going to wrap it up here real quick. Anything else that you need to address before we head out and talk about the wines you brought out today?
What was the last two reds that you brought out to us?
So I brought out two more bottles. The first bottle is a Super Tuscan blend from 2018 vintage. It is Sangiovese, Barbera, and Cab Sauv.
Okay.
And that particular
Yes,
bottle won a double gold at both San Francisco Chronicle and at Houston.
That's amazing.
We love this wine. It's as a Super Tuscan with the Italians in there. It's a little lighter blend, but we think it's really tasty.
You think?
And then the other wine that I brought is the second iteration of what we call first Troubadour Edge, and this one's called Troubadour 2. It is also a lighter blend. We call it I don't think y'all really need this nomenclature on your wines, but it's a day drinking red. I think y'all drink any red during the day.
Oh, yeah.
But so this is our day drinking red. It's called Troubadour 2, and it's a blend of some yummy stuff like Montepulciano and Cab and some Barbera from different years. So we love that one too.
So what's cool is that's the first time the word nomenclature has been addressed on our show.
And I love that you call it a troubadour.
Yes.
I love that. I don't know why I love that word. And actually, the last couple of weeks that I've been listening to a lot of the older country, they talk about troubadour, and I love that you did that.
Well, we have a lot of good friends who are musicians.
Yep.
We have live music here at least 2 days a week, sometimes 3, and we get those people in, and they love to share their tunes. And so this wine is dedicated to all those troubadours that bring happiness into our lives,
That's
as
a
well
beautiful
as
thing.
wine.
That's so cool.
I love it.
As we get ready to wrap this up, Susan, can you tell our listeners where they can find you online?
Online, it's www.texasheritagevineyard.com.
Awesome.
That was easy enough.
That was
cool.
easy.
Well, takeaways, guys. We had a great time with Susan Johnson. I wish her husband was here, and we met some of her staff. It's been great. But Will, what's your takeaway from today?
And the takeaway I want to give today is not about the wine, but it's actually the patriotic.
You stole
vineyard.
mine.
I love how patriotic you are. I'm very patriotic myself. You know, I'm pro Texas, pro everything American, but the fact that you have a ceremony for the Texas flag.
Oh, that's huge.
That is amazing, and I want to watch for the next one y'all do.
Okay.
And I'm going to bring my stepdad down here because he's very much pro Texan. Also,
I love it. We'd love to have y'all.
He's actually from Tennessee, but he's pro Texas.
You definitely get some of the training in. Like
a lot of those people that died in the Alamo were straight from Tennessee.
They sure were.
You know,
But
they
I mean,
just walked in there to die for Texas.
Yes,
So.
but I love that, and I want to, you know, if you don't hear from nobody else ever, thank you for being the patriot that you are for Texas. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you. We love it.
Jen, take away.
You know,
Sorry.
he stole my thunder, and you know what? It's fine. I'll just go play in the dirt. You know, I love getting to talk to everybody. One of the things, and this is my very first time here, tasting your wines, all that, and it's amazing. It's fantastic. But what really turns you into a lover is knowing where you came from, where your starts, and that it was one of those things you're like, you had to have some, you played around in the dirt, you rolled around, you got in there, you were in it. And there are a rare breed that can actually be able to stand that.
Well, thank you.
I appreciate everything that y'all do for this community and everything that you do for Texas.
Yes.
Yeah, mine's more simple since Will stole mine, and my second one Jen stole. No, I'm joking. But mine is just thanks for bringing fun to an industry, and you know we bring fun to a podcasting system. There's other podcasts out there. We think we are fun. I think you need to have fun in sports. I think you have fun in relationships. I think you have to have fun as you build friendships. It's really important. It is very obvious to me that you bring fun to the wine industry. You bring fun to Fredericksburg, so I'm really proud of you for that. Yeah, indeed you do, and so that's really, really awesome. So, well, we have a couple of sponsors we want to just shout out to real quick. Our Texas Wine Club Association with those guys and those ladies over there are amazing. They're fantastic.
Yes, and that's actually how we found out about Texas Hertiage. It's from them.
That's right.
And it was such amazing red wine that we drank. In fact, what was it we drank? Do you remember?
No, but I have pictures. I have pictures. So it goes out in a minute. And then our Texas Wine.
It's been a while. Holy cow.
Albarino and a Barbera.
I think it was a Barbera.
Okay.
I think it was a Barbera.
And then our Texas Wine Lover app and website. Those we got to drink a little wine with those folks last night. The Godfather himself and Wonder Woman,
Susan,
Amy and Jeff.
Do you have Jeff's contact number?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so
we're an advertiser on there.
Okay, so if you ever get a chance, just send him a random text message saying, "Hey, Godfather."
That's his new nickname. All right, that's his nickname. So
I think he's full-time wine now, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
No, he retired to full-time wine.
Hey, guys, I've been working on this all morning as I was recovering from my wine last night. Who's this? I build apps. I build websites. You talking about me?
Oh,
okay,
my God.
so yeah.
We had such a good time with him last night. So Michael actually came up with the name with him last night to call him the Godfather.
Why not?
And then actually Amy's Wonder Woman. So
right.
Yes.
What's Susan? Super girl.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Crazy.
No, I'm going to give this to her. I'm going to give this. Hold on. It's called the Yellow Rose of Texas.
Aw, that's so sweet. I love that.
The Yellow Rose, because the Yellow Rose is the Texas flower, and she does a ceremony for the Texas flag. Why not be the Yellow Rose of Texas?
I never knew you were so emotional.
I have to interject one little
Please
bit
do.
of education here, that in a vineyard, the very worst color of any wildflower is yellow. So that attracts all the wrong bugs for all the wrong reasons in your vineyard. So you must plow those down and you plant your roses somewhere else.
So you put yellow on you, walk through the vineyard, and walk out of the vineyard.
Get all of the bad bugs out.
Yeah, well, we're grateful for our listeners.
Yes,
I have a quick quote here today. Actually, the first one, I have two. I always finish with a quote, Susan. But the first one, we've kind of been talking kind of in this realm, so it may not be as impactful. But I make wine disappear. What is your superpower? I think that's pretty good. And then the second one is, I love this one. I am looking for a wine that pairs with making it until Friday. So that is it. So, yeah, thank you very much.
It is a Monday.
Yeah.
That is not going to happen.
Well, we've had a blast here today. Susan, thanks for all you do. Appreciate
Yes,
my teammates here. And so this is Michael.
This is Will.
And this is Jen.
Cheers.
And this is Susan.
Oh, it is.
Hey.